Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. The stock market is open, so you already know we are buying stocks and we're adding assets like we do to our portfolio every single Wednesday on repeat. We've been doing it for 2.5 years now. We come in, we buy stocks, we add cash to the account, we reinvest some of our premiums, and slowly but surely we build the dividend snowball. We have a lot that happened over the last week. We had some nice dividends come in, some of them reinvested, some of them not. We had a nice fresh $100 worth of cash come in. We made $164 on puts and more incoming there. And we hit a huge milestone in the account, and that is 50 bands or $50,000. I can't believe it. We started this account, if you scroll to the very start of the dividend portfolio, at $0. And I remember those first videos I was making, I had no idea what I was doing. It was right at the start of the YouTube journey. We were making 10 cents, 12 cents, 15 cents on dividends. And we were just stacking, so it's cool. A little bit of a milestone for the account to hit $50,000 in the portfolio. Of course, we're not stopping here. Of course, we're going to continue adding more cash each and every single week. And of course, we're keeping the dividend snowball on the rip. We have taken $0 out of this account. I plan to take $0 out of this account, maybe at a later date when we hit our goal of $5,000 a month of pure passive dividend income. But in the meantime, what are we doing? We're just stacking it up. So first things first, let's take a look. Full transparency as always. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the sub. Don't forget to drop a like. It helps with the small YouTubers. And I appreciate it as always. So let's jump into it. So these are all the payments that we've received so far in September. We're starting to stack it up. I think it's going to be a 2,000 plus month when it comes to dividend income. We've had some heavy hitters come in, but for the most part, these are the ones since the last video. YieldMax at $54.70, TSLY at $39.26, Ulti coming in at $162.33, and that one's reinvested. XDT at $50. QDT at $71.51, BITO at $21.53, TSLW really weak this week at $16.99, and then HOW coming in nice at $44.28. I don't know if you guys watched the Robinhood event last night, depending on when you're watching this, but it was awesome. We have a bunch of stuff that is going to be coming out. The one that I am the most excited about, obviously, is going to be the multiple accounts, especially for my kiddos, going to be moving those over. But we're going to have overnight index options, multiple accounts, futures on Legends, linked mobile and Legend access. We're going to be able to short on Robinhood, which is really cool. And the company just can't be beat. So what does it mean for me? What does it mean for you guys? I'm not sure, but it's cool that I can now open multiple accounts. One of the reasons we have to utilize my wife's Robinhood and my Robinhood is because we weren't able to have multiple investment accounts now. So we're going to see how this shakes out, but I may end up consolidating into just my Robinhood outside of the IRA stuff. Obviously, you can't move that, but we'll see how that goes. But for now, moving some of the kids' money over, and I don't know if you guys want me to share what I'm doing with the kids' accounts or not. But for now, I'm going to be moving those over to Robinhood, so we could talk about those if we want to do that. But we're just going to keep it rocking. So what does that mean for me this week? Well, we buy assets like we do each and every single week. And you know me, I like to break it down into the graphics. I like to keep it super clean. And I like to break down how I'm doing it, right? So YieldMax, we saw the dividends come in around 55. Cash, of course, $100 deposit each and every single week. We had TSLY and TSLW come in for about $17 this week. QDT at the $71.51. And then we sold MXTX puts at the bottom of the chain for about $164 worth of premium. And those are looking really good. What does this mean for the account? Well, every single week, you guys know it, we have auto purchases on VTI and SCHD. We aren't ever stopping those. $5 a day is going into each of those. So about $50 is going to be going into those, right? We could take that out of the cash or we can take it out of the dividends. Then the new plan, we're taking QDT and we're throwing it right to QQQ. So we're going to make that purchase here together today. BITO, we're going to be buying some more shares there, especially on the dip. And then the rest of it goes towards the margin balance as part of the plan to reduce the margin balance. So let's jump back into the account and let's get busy with some buying. Buying power sitting at $1,990. The reason why it's low is, well, we have some MSTX puts on the table. You guys saw it. 164 is what we talked about. I'm just going to let these expire worthless unless we have some crazy sell-off on Friday. I think we're week 15 of 15 selling MSTX bottom of the chain puts here, and it's been a nice addition to the account. So I'm going to keep things working while they're working. I don't want to break a system that's not broken. So up $150 on this option. I don't want to close these out because you can't actually close them for 0.01. So we'll just let those ride. I just sold these a few moments ago at the MXTX bottom of the put chain. $10, super low delta at 0.02. Doubt we ever get there, but if we do, These are just pure account boosting plays, right? I mean, it's going to take 20, 30, 40, 50% sell-offs to hit some of these numbers. And so that's why I'm playing bottom of the chain. It is 0.05 increments, which is why I go to the bottom where we get 0.05 or 0.10 and we play some risk reward there. So that's just the options trade there. Now, let me come here. Let's look at the equity we have, and we're going to be breaking that down, right? So on the equity side of things, we're going to be making some purchases. Of course, SHD and VTI are going to be continue building. YieldMax we're done with. QDT we're done with. JEPQ we're on drip. XET we're on drip. Ulti we're on drip until we get to 2,000 shares, which we're doing about 30 shares or so a week. So a couple of weeks left until we end up hitting that. We're at 1832 as of right now. TSLW, I'm pondering putting drip on this one, but for now we're leaving it at 50 shares. HOW, we have it on drip, and we're going to continue to stack there. But the purchases I'm making today are going to be, of course, QQQ. We talked about it. We're coming in here, and we're going to be purchasing, 71.51. Oh, not number of shares. Let me change that to dollars. That would be way too much. 71.51. There we go. And that's what we're doing. QDT dividends straight into QQQ. That gives us a growth perspective. As of right now, this is a super small position, only $304, 0.52 shares. We are up about 1.21% on the position, but let's keep in mind, this entire position was funded off of QDTE dividends. So now that we've hit our share goal in QDT, it's time to turn those into the growth aspect. Now, eventually, maybe someday we'll get this to 100 shares. We might do some additional purchases. We'll see, but for now, that's what we're doing. The other one we're going to be purchasing is a little bit more BITO. Now, we're going back to the share count here. We're going to be purchasing 5 shares for about $100, $98 or so. And boom, just like that. So we'll be adding to that. I think our position, we're about 1% of the portfolio. We've been as high as 200 shares in this account. We've wheeled in, we wheeled out. This has been a solid dividend payer for me. And I like to have that little bit of Bitcoin exposure in the portfolio. Down about 4% on the position here. But like I said, this is one of our biggest dividend payers that we've had in the account. So I'm not too worried about it there. 35 shares as of right now, continuing to stack, lowering the average cost with today's purchase. And that's where we're sitting for now. So about $70 worth of purchases so far. The rest will go towards dividends. And you guys know how we're spreading it out. I want to jump into the payouts that came this week, right? So if we come in, let's go into here. Let's go into YieldMax. Let's take a look. Lots of payouts come in. Some of them great. PLTY came down. One that matters for me, obviously, is going to be YieldMax coming in at 13.21 cents. Really, really nice turnaround from last week. I like the payout there. Much better than the 10 cents or the 11 cents. Ulti coming in at 9.28 cents, which is nice for our 1,800 shares. Again, nothing crazy, but I'll take it. I honestly prefer staying in the 9-cent range if it means that we hold up NAV. And Ulti seems to be kind of finding a little bit of ground on the NAV side, but so far we're still down total return, really close to break even, but haven't been too impressed with this one. So that's where we're sitting there. And then we know QDT and XET came out in the 20s. We had a shorter week, so we have to keep that in mind. And then another one to note here is going to be NVDY. Gets us that much closer to house money at 64 cents. So let's jump into the spreadsheet like we do each and every single week, full transparency. One thing I want to take a look at, I went through and I want to take a look at how we're going with projections and added capital, right? So I went through and I made sure all these numbers are right. So far this year, we have added $8,600 worth of capital. And I want everybody to keep in mind when we're looking at this portfolio, I built this entire portfolio off of wins from options income. This entire 50 grand. Obviously, there's some wins in here from share appreciation, from options trading in this portfolio, but all the fresh initial cash, all of it comes from my main brokerage where I'm making money trading options each and every single week, and then I funnel a portion of it into the dividend account as a set it and forget it passive income approach. Yes, I understand this is not a crazy growth portfolio. I totally get that, but let's not take into the fact that it's still growing, right? Obviously, this portfolio is not crazy, but it's still $50,000 worth of capital that was all funded off of wins from options portfolio. Year to date, we're sitting about 15%. All time since when they opened the account about 2.5 years ago, we're still up $16,000 or almost 50%. So really not too bad. I mean, if you can return 22 to 25% a year, it's really not too bad when it comes to a growth portfolio. But I just want to state that out there because a lot of people sometimes they're like, why don't you put it all into options? This is just set it and forget it money for me. It's 50 bands that I don't plan on needing anytime soon. And the whole goal is at some point to have a portfolio that pays me $5,000 a month to do whatever the heck I want with. So I'm going to keep funneling money into it until I think I get it to a place where maybe it doesn't need fresh capital. And then I'll just keep all of the rest of my money in my options portfolio. But for now, we're building this sucker out and we're going to continue to grind, and especially as we get towards that 5,000. So that's where we're at, $8,600 worth of fresh capital. So far this month, we are sitting at $554 worth of dividend income. If we add in the options income, because it does count, at about $795. Last month, $2,500 and just over $3,100 with options income. So we are rocking and rolling. We're 26% of the way towards September goals. We're 55% of the way towards our annual dividend goal of $25,000. Oh gosh, it's going to be hard to get there, right? We're already almost 9 months through. We have a lot of work to hit 25,000. When I set that, it was very, very lofty of a goal. Remember, last year we only had $8,600 worth of dividend income. The year before that, when we started the account, only $894, right? So we've gone from $894 to $8,000, now up to $14,000 worth of dividend income. We have a long way to go. Is it going to be possible to get it done? I really don't know. It's going to be a stretch, but it just depends on the dividends and how they pay out, right? If we go into a bear market and funds start falling and the premiums start drying up, then obviously we're not going to get there. But the only thing that I can control is buying shares every single week. I have a good track record of doing that. I'm going to continue to do that no matter what the market is doing, no matter how the market is performing. I'm coming in, I'm full gas, and I'm putting more money. So hopefully you guys are the same. Hopefully you're staying motivated. Hopefully you don't worry about all the little ups and downs, and you just continue to buy each and every single week. You set your goals and you full gas until you get there. So that's where we're sitting as of right now. 4,700 so far in dividend income for Q3. I'd like to push this over 5,000. It's definitely going to be possible, and I think we can get it done. And then Q4, we're going to be looking really good. So 20,000 is the minimum that I want to get to, and I think we can get there. Right now, we're averaging about $2.13 every hour of the day, 365 days a year in passive dividend income, which is pretty awesome to see. This week, coming in on Friday, we have about $396 worth of dividend income. So that's nice. $50.11 from QDT, XDT 49.18, YieldMax 66, MVDY 64, Ulti coming in at about 167, and that one will be fully reinvested. So just under $400 there. And then, yeah, we're looking really good. So this is our options income. This is our dividend income at 554. We still need, we need a double where we're at from now to beat last year, which we're going to easily do. And then when we come to the dividend payouts, where are we sitting? So here's for the month, right? This is the payouts that are going to be coming in this week. QDT at 20 cents, XDT at 21 cents. Now we had a short week, so I believe that's why we have smaller dividends there. We did have the holiday for Labor Day. So of course they're going to make less premium. QDT, total return is sitting at about 19.2%. We're about $1,882 in the green as of right now. Again, we've hit the 250 shares, and now we're taking all that money and throwing it into QQQ. XCT, 13.41 total return, 1,532 in the green, even with the shares being down, and we're at 234. We're dripping over a share a week, so I mean, just easy math on that, right? We're about 15 weeks out from hitting the goal there. It's probably going to take a little bit of extra cash as we do have some work to get to the end of the year, right? So that's where we're sitting as of right now on the XDT position. I believe, 37 weeks into the year? So yeah, I mean, it's going to take a little bit of work there. Let me just do. All right, perfect. And then we Ulti. Like I said, we are in the red on Ulti. This one has not been doing great ever since I feel like I purchased it. You know, it's a crazy thing, right? I watched this position for 3 months, and I said, I'm not buying Ulti. I'm not buying Ulti. I'm just going to keep watching. And then I said, you know what? The NAV is actually looking pretty good. They have some nice, solid weekly payouts. The NAV has been holding up. I'm going to get into it, and let's see what this hype is about. Then I purchased it, and I tell you what, it's been a shit show since then. Excuse my language. It's just been going down ever since I bought it. And yeah, so we're down about $62 on total return, or 0.5%. But we're just staying the course. I'm not worried. You guys know me. I'm not stressing about it, but it's something to keep in mind. If we continue to not be able to hold NAV and I see this thing, like it's just going to keep going down, then we might cut the loss and we might move on. But I just want to keep you guys full transparency there. That's where we're sitting on Ulti. YieldMax, a different story. We're at 500 shares, 11.23 total return, just about 950. And the last thing I want to touch on is this week, right? We have NVDY coming in. It's going to be about $65. So far, we have $478 left until we're 100% house money on NVDY. Once we hit 100% house money, it's game over. The total return goes to the absolute moon. So keep that in mind when we're coming to NVDY, right? Average payout has been about $1.20. Obviously, this one's coming out half of that. So it's just going to continue to lower the average payment, which is going to push out the months until we get to the free part, right? So I don't think we're going to get it done by the end of the year unless NVDY just has some stellar payouts coming here soon. I just don't see us getting to house money by the end of 2025, but we're definitely slotted for Q1 of 2026 to hit house money. What's coming up next? Well, CONY, and you guys know where we're at with Coney. We only have $94 left until we hit house money. This is going to be the first one to hit house money. It's going to be a crazy celebration when we get there, but I need a $94 payout. So we're probably looking at 2 months. I don't think we're going to get it done in September, but October, I just don't see how we're not going to hit house money then. Then the total return starts to go absolutely wild, right? Because everything after that is 100% gravy. Our 100 shares have completely paid for themselves, and then we're rocking and rolling. So that's where we're sitting in the account as of right now. That's where we're sitting with the dividends. Those are the stocks I'm buying. I'm stacking, and I'm going to continue putting money into this account. We've already put 8,600. We're doing a minimum of 100 each and every single week. And we have 15 weeks left in the year. So that's at least 1,500 I'm going to be throwing into this. So I'm going to be adding about, by the end of the year, $10,000 into this dividend account, which I know for some people is nothing. For some people, it's a lot. But for me, I'm just sharing my journey, and hopefully it motivates you to continue to build yours. I appreciate everybody as always. Don't forget to sub. Don't forget to like. And keep stacking. Happy investing, and we'll catch you next time.